Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Friday, February the 23rd, 2018. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then when we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We do not know what the market's going to do. We simply set up a plan based on who takes control of the auction and what the normal rotation expansion will look like. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to. Then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the RTH trading session. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so take a look at yesterday. Yesterday, our main hypothesis was an open auction in range, a push up into the 23 to 27 area, and then to find responsive sellers and rotate us down into closing the gap and then pushing through into the key line in the sand, which was the 93, and then a break of the prior day low and a push down into this 82 area, finding a base and then working our way back up. Hypo 2 was an open auction in range, a push down into this 96 to 93 area, and then finding a base and walking up. And then we had our expansion. Our Hypo 3 was a breakdown day. Hypo 4 was a move up into the 50 area. We kind of got a mix of it. We've been getting, because of the size of the ranges, we've been getting these mixed ones. It looked like Hypo 1 was clearly into play, and then Hypo 2 was starting to prevail, and then what actually happened is we did move down. We just didn't get as low. They had an inside day yesterday, and it turned out to be a doji day. So let's take a look at it on the big structure. You see that our longer time frame, micro composite is still running from that October the 3rd, and value is still down. The micro composite epoch is still way down below us in the 2580. We came up and we created this balance around the 2643 area. We broke out of the balance on the 15th and tried to continue up into the breakout day, or I should say breakdown day of this microcomposite up here, but we've stalled out, and we're just, we talked about this going back weeks, about the fact that when we came back down into this thin area of the profile that we did not properly auction off on the way up, that we were likely going to get stuck in certain areas as they try to determine fair value. So they came back up, they determined fair value at 43, they broke out of balance, they come up. Now we're trying to accept price in the 27.33.50 area, but they're struggling to hold. We had 3 days of down. It looked like they were going to fall back into the value area. The value area high that we broke out of is right here in the, so let me expand this, the 09 area, 2709. The value area low of this microcomposite, the 6-day microcomposite, that's including the holiday, because I do include my holiday sessions. The value area low is here at 2708. So we've dipped down into the value, but we're holding above it so far. We do have a doji day on a 3-day down rotation, which is also an inside bar, Mr. Sneaky. So my anticipation is that we're likely going to try to expand this auction up. Overnight session is about 95% net long in both volume and time. We've had an inside session, so we've had an inside session in the RTH, and we had an inside session in the Globex as well. And we're really basically accepting this value between the 14 and the 17 right now. So inventory is 100%, close to 100% net long here. So I am expecting that we'll see some balancing out, but I'm still expecting that the auction's going to continue to the upside. So taking a look at the macro to micro, I always do this every day, just taking a look at a simple candlestick chart. I start with a monthly. I use a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. I don't use them to trade. What I'm using them for is to give me an idea of where we are in terms of the trend, the strength of the trend. Do we have good slope and separation? Is the trend being challenged by breaking below the 9 EMA? Is it possibly changing on that particular time frame by breaking below the 20 and then getting slope and separation in the opposite direction? You can see that 14 months of one time framing up was violated this month. Have a huge range this month, over 300 points in range so far, but we have held and bounced with the challenge of the 9 EMA and currently trading inside of last month's and last month's low is down at the 2674.50, which is just about a point and 5 ticks below the year open. So we have seen some weakness, but the buyers continue to step in on the larger time frame. Going to the weekly, you can see that we look like we were breaking down a couple weeks ago with that move that violated the one time framing down. And since then, we've had an inside bar and another inside bar. So far, 2 inside bars now. We still have 1 day to go on this particular bar. We're holding the 9 EMA, and that's going to be a very important level for us to hold today here in the 2350. We're actually just below it right now, but the 20 SMA is down near the year open. So the trend is weakening, but it's still holding. Going to the daily, you can see that we were starting a downward trend. What they're doing is they're having a hard time getting back above the 9 and the 20 and continuing this auction up. We're kind of in this consolidation, this compression, and looking for expansion. I don't think we're going to see the expansion today. We're still below the week open. The week open is up at 2734.50. So I'll be looking at whether or not we can get above that. And we might see some capitulation, but I doubt we're going to see critical mass kick in just because of this, the size of the range. Right now, our daily full session average true range is running at 63 points. So for us to hit critical mass, we'd have to be 63 points below that 34.50, and that takes us down into the 2670 area, 75 area, and challenging the year open. So I don't know if critical mass is good. We're going to see that this week. Going to the intraday, you can see we've just been in this long consolidation where we haven't, well, I should say we haven't moved much. The range, based on the ranges we've moved, but you can see we're basically going sideways with no slope or separation. This is undetermined in terms of, whether or not we get the continuation up. Right now, we're holding above the 9 and the 20, and I'm expecting the move to the upside as my main hypotheses. Just one more time, going down to the 30-minute. Same thing in the 30-minute. No clear direction, just chopping back and forth, creating a symmetrical triangle and compressing for a breakout. Again, I don't know if that breakout's going to be today. So if we take a look at our overnight numbers and start moving our trade levels over, I've done most of it already. Overnight high is up at the 27.75. Overnight low is at 27.10. Very balanced profile. The balance is around the 27.17 and a quarter. That's our overnight VPOC. We're inside of the value area, and it's possible that we're going to see both sides of this value area today. In terms of the daily upside ATR target, our upside daily ATR is all the way up now in the 73 area. Just the ranges are so big, it's just incredible to, you can't really use the ATRs as well as we usually do. And to the downside, off of the 27.75, our downside daily ATR is down at 26.65. So you can see we have capabilities for huge days right now as this 20-period daily ATR continues to expand. Remember that our microcomposite VPOC is up here at 33.75 with the naked VPOC there as well from the Friday, and also the weekly open is up there at 34.50. We failed to get above the value area, so we got stuck in the value area last night, just reinforcing this price acceptance around the 14 to the 17. You see that we had an HVN, and we had our VPOC for a good portion of yesterday up in the 17 area before it shifted down to the 14. We've taken it back, and so far we're accepting that price again in the Globex, and we're coming down and testing it again right now and bouncing off it. Kind of created a little bit of a weak low. So in terms of my hypotheses, I'm looking for a open auction in range. I'm looking for some rebalancing and a move down to close the gap, take out the overnight low. And then my over/under line is going to be here at the value area low. And remember that our microcomposite value areas are 09 and 07. So 09 to the top of the one we broke out of, and 07 to the one on the bottom. So I'm going to use the 08 area basically as my over/under line. If we get below that, more specifically below the 07, then I'm looking for continuation down to that week low that we put in, down at that 93 from the Wednesday session, and pushing down towards that 82 and the year open down here at the 75. Above the over/under line, then I'm looking for the continuation up towards that 33, 34 area, and the continuation back up towards the next big target above, which is going to be up in that, where is it? Sorry. It is in the 27.46 and a quarter area, and back up into this balance area, this value area here that runs between basically the 33 up into the 60 area. So hypotheses: open auction, hypo 1 open auction in range, move down towards the naked close, and the overnight low, and somewhere down here in the 2709 will be the first spot that I'll be looking for them to find buyers down to the 2704, and I'm looking for buyers to step in here and start grinding us up, towards the overnight high in the value area, basically taking a trip through value and then breaking out of value and coming up into the 33 and probably chopping maybe a late day probe back up into that 43 to 47 area, but then falling back and closing somewhere in the 33, 34 area. That is hypo 1. Hypo 2 is a open auction in range, a push up to the overnight high, failure to hold above the value area, maybe a false breakout up into the 33, 34, but then finding responsive sellers and rotating us down into the gap, come down and basically chop between the 93 and the 2709 area going sideways. Hypo 3 is an open auction in range, wide rotations on the open as we test this value area, but then buyers taking control, taking us up into the 33, accepting that price and pushing up into this 47 area and continuing up and holding up here and closing somewhere in around the 43 to 44 area. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is an open auction. Failure to take out the overnight high, quickly come down, close the gap, come down into the 2700, chop around here, then fail. Push through the key line in the sand and push us down towards the year open down here in the 75 and possibly coming down. Remember, the bigger balance is down here at the longer time frame micro composite, down here at the 4350 area. 26, 43, 50 area. So those are my main hypotheses for ES. Take a quick look at gold. Gold continues to balance out. Three-day profile microcomposite is at 31. We were looking for that move up to test the upper side of the distribution here at 35 yesterday. We only got as high as 34.20. Didn't quite make it there. Basically fell back into balance. I'm sorry, our high yesterday was 34.40. So far, we've had an inside day. We're chopping around in this 31. Levels are exactly the same. Looking for a breakout above 35 or a breakdown below the 28. Everything else is just going to be chopped in between here as we mature this distribution zone. Above the 35, we're targeting the 39. Below the 28, we're targeting the 23, 22 area. Pretty simple in gold. Gold is in a balance right now, waiting for the next breakout, whether it be to the downside or to the upside. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.